Welcome back, dear viewers, and you are still watching The Breakfast Show. And in this segment of our program, we will talk about Decent Life Initiative. And this initiative aims at improving the living standards of Egyptian people living in rural areas in all domains, mainly services, economic development, social protection, and in the fields of infrastructure. And to shed more light on the importance of this initiative, we are joined over the phone by Dr. Zeinab, and she is a professor of economics. Good morning, Dr. Zeinab.
Good morning, Hadi. Good morning.
Good morning. So, as we are talking about Decent Life Initiative, can you tell us more about the importance of this initiative and the outcome of its first phase?
Yes, the importance of Decent Life Initiative, that it will work to provide a hell of services to the citizens who are living in, especially when we talk about the poor villages and poor market level in Egypt. All the services that will definitely include the providing of drinking water, sanitation, the renovation for all of the irrigation system for the Egyptian villages, which will, of course, have a huge effect on the efficiency of the agriculture land, providing services, educational services and health services. Of course, this will be very important. And also determining and knowing the needs in terms of projects for the people who are living in especially we talk about rural and poor areas in Egypt, in rural and poor villages. This is very important because before they were not, these things were not used to be done to determine through surveys, through certain committees. You go to these poor places and you ask the citizens what exactly you need in terms of projects, what shall be needs to them to ensure that maybe a project could be established, and this of course will create jobs and will create opportunities for the people in these poor villages. So definitely the initiative is so great in terms of the approach and in terms of the output that will happen within the coming 3 years.
So if we talk about also developing the skills of Egyptian women as part of this initiative, as it continues to implement women's health initiatives that cover nearly 30 million women, as well as providing them with jobs and small and medium, and making them participate in small and medium enterprises to improve the living standard of women in rural areas. How do you see this?
I think it's very good because unfortunately for some poor areas in Egypt, in poor villages, you will go and you will face that you are in a village that's full of women. And again, back to the decent life. Why decent life is so important? Because creating jobs, solving the problems. This is of course will make it less that some of the farmers that used to leave the villages and used to leave the agricultural activities and traveling to Cairo or Alexandria or any of other governorates, leaving their main activities. So, of course, providing economic activities, small and medium enterprises, creating small and medium enterprises for women in these areas will create jobs to them, especially when they are in need to money to raise their children, and also because in these areas we talk about severe poverty between women. So the start point of this is that how we raise awareness to these women of the importance of the work and to do a project, and definitely they are in need of this, because I had gone through this before at my work, and I went to these poor areas where women are living there, and I asked them what you would like, what you need. Even the women in these places, they know what they do need in terms of projects. The leakage or the problem they do suffer from the lack of finance. So if the initiative could help women and could encourage them to get finance from different, what we call, if we talk about the social fund, if we talk about different places to get finance from, or if the initiative is going to assist, provide them with the base so they can start their own project. So I see it's a very important pillar given the current situation of poverty in Egypt and given the current situation of some women in poor villages.
Yes, Dr. Zeinab Nawar, stay with us. We'll go for a short break and we'll be back to continue this discussion. So, dear viewers, stay tuned. Welcome back, and you're still watching The Breakfast Show, and we are discussing Decent Life Initiative with our guest, Dr. Zeinab Nawar, Professor of Economics. So, Dr. Zeinab, if we talk about the role of civil society in supporting this initiative, how beneficial they are?
Already there is a cooperation between the civil society in the part of the implementation, because the role of the civil society actually that it helps those who are working in this initiative to know the exact needs of the citizens for certain villages, because it will be so hard if you are going to know for each and every village what exactly they need. Of course, you'll know it through the committee that will be formulated through the surveys and collecting data. However, plus all of the civil societies could provide the initiative with a lot of information about the needs and how this could be done, and also about the behavior of the people in these villages. So this, of course, will help when we talk about in determining the needs and also in the implementation. So the role of civil society is to provide information, this is number one, and also to raise an awareness about the initiative itself, because it's very important to get the support from the people themselves in these poor areas. So the civil society should have a role in this, to raise awareness about the initiative, what the initiative will do, and how the initiative will do that. Of course, this will help a lot in collecting information and also in the implementation.
So, Dr. Zeinab, also there is an important role by the Egyptian citizen himself in supporting and implementing this initiative. So, how can we raise the awareness of Egyptian people and let them know the importance of their participation in implementing this initiative?
It can be done easily for the village level, for example. If we talk about one of the most important persons and leaders for each village, which is the Al-Umda, for example, or the Markaz level, or the Wahda al-Mahalliyya, which is the local unit at the poor villages, can collect people, can start discussions with them, or they can, because in these poor areas, the level of communication sometimes is so easy, so they can go to the houses of people and they try to talk with them about the importance of the initiative and how they should preserve and also support the initiative, and to ask them about what they do actually need. And by all means, people in these poor areas are so cooperative. When they feel that the initiative is coming to them and to provide them with services, and it has a positive and a good thing for enhancing their standards of living, they will cooperate. You cannot, under any means, start any developmental project in rural places in Egypt without getting the support of the citizens of these places, because getting their support is very important to preserve the resources, to know their needs, and also to help you to know more about the village, and also to help you in the implementation. They can monitor, they can help the initiative in monitoring the performance and
Dr. Zeinab Nawar,
performance of the company.
Dr. Zeinab Nawar, Professor of Economics, thank you for being with us. And by that, dear viewers, we come to the end of today's edition of The Breakfast Show. I'm Sheena Adel, and I was joined today by my colleague Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.